your 20s and 30s are the most critical decades of your financial life. Not because you'll earn the most money during this time. You probably won't. But because what you choose to buy in these years will decide whether you become wealthy or remain broke for the rest of your life. Most people waste these decades. They spend money on the wrong things. Things that make them appear successful but quietly keep them poor. Things that feel great in the moment but slowly ruin their financial future. Then they reach their 40s and 50s and finally realize what they lost. They lost the most valuable years of all. The years when compound interest could have done the heavy lifting. The years when small, consistent investments could have turned into fortunes. The years they can never get back. That's why today I want to explain exactly what you should buy in your 20s and 30s if you want to build real wealth. Not what most people buy, not what society pressures you to buy, but the 5 smart purchases that actually create wealth. These aren't flashy investments or complicated strategies. They're simple, even boring, but they work. They worked for me. They've worked for every wealthy person I know, and they'll work for you too if you have the discipline to buy them. So let's begin with the first smart thing to buy in your 20s and 30s. This is the most important one of all. It's the foundation everything else depends on. Buy the habit of consistent investing. I know that sounds unusual, buying a habit, but stay with me. Your habits are the most valuable assets you'll ever own. Good habits compound into wealth. Bad habits compound into poverty. And the habit of investing consistently, putting money into investments every single month without fail, is what creates millionaires, not luck. Not genius, not secret opportunities, just the simple, boring discipline of investing consistently for decades. Here's how this works. Imagine you're 25 years old, you decide to invest $500 every month, no exceptions. Whether the market is rising or falling, whether you feel motivated or not, whether the economy looks strong or terrible, you do this for 40 years. By age 65, assuming a 10% annual return, you'd have roughly 3.1 million. That's 240,000 of your own money turning into more than 3,000 million. But here's the crucial part. This only works if it becomes a habit. If it's automatic. If it happens whether you think about it or not. Because the moment you rely on motivation or willpower, you'll stop. Everyone does. So in your 20s and 30s, buy this habit. Automate it. Set up automatic transfers from your checking account into your investment account. Make investing something that just happens, like paying rent or buying groceries. Most people in their 20s and 30s are buying something else instead. Fancy dinners, new clothes, concert tickets, trips, all things that vanish. Pure consumption that leaves nothing behind. But if you buy the habit of consistent investing instead, if you prioritize that $500 a month before spending on anything else, you'll reach middle-age wealthy while everyone else is still struggling. I started this habit very young. From the moment I earned any income at all, I invested part of it. Over time, it became automatic. I didn't have to think about it. It just happened. And more than anything else, that habit is why I became one of the wealthiest people in the world. So that's the first smart purchase, a habit of consistent investing. Buy it in your 20s, automate it, never break it. That alone can make you wealthy. Now let's move to the second smart thing to buy in your 20s and 30s, and this one is essential. Buy index funds, not individual stocks. This might surprise you. I built my fortune by picking individual stocks, analyzing businesses, and finding undervalued companies. That's what I'm known for. But for most people in their 20s and 30s, that's the wrong strategy. Why? Because picking stocks requires massive amounts of time and expertise. You have to read annual reports, understand financial statements, analyze competitive advantages, and evaluate management teams. It's practically a full-time job, and when you're in your 20s or 30s, you already have a full-time job. You're building a career, maybe starting a family. You don't have 40 hours a week to analyze companies. And without that time, you're competing against professionals without the tools they have. Index funds eliminate this problem entirely. An S&P 500 index fund gives you ownership in 500 of America's strongest companies. You're instantly diversified and you earn the market's return, which historically has been around 10% per year. No research required, no expertise needed, no time spent analyzing businesses. You simply buy the fund and hold it. That's the entire strategy. And here's the best part. Over long periods, index funds outperform most professional investors. I proved this with my famous bet, where I wagered that an index fund would outperform a group of hedge funds over 10 years. The index fund won by a wide margin. So in your 20s and 30s, don't waste energy trying to find the next Amazon or Apple. Don't gamble on individual stocks you don't fully understand. Just buy index funds. Specifically buy 3. A total U.S. stock market fund, a total international stock market fund, and a total bond market fund. That's it. 3 funds. Simple, boring, effective. And if you keep contributing to them consistently for decades, they will make you wealthy. Most people in their 20s and 30s do the opposite. They buy individual stocks based on tips from friends or things they saw on social media. They chase GameStop, crypto, or whatever happens to be trending. They're gambling, not investing, and most of them lose money. But if you buy index funds and hold them, you'll outperform those gamblers over time. You'll quietly build wealth while they keep trying to get rich fast and failing. That's the second smart buy. Index funds. Buy them in your 20s. Keep buying them in your 30s. Hold them for decades. The third smart thing to buy in your 20s and 30s is education and skills that increase your earning power. This is one of the most underestimated investments you can make, yet it's one of the best. In your 20s and 30s, your income is relatively low. You're early in your career. You haven't reached your peak yet, but you will. And how high you peak, how much you earn at your best, depends largely on the skills you build now. So invest in yourself. Take courses. Earn certifications. Learn valuable skills the market rewards. Become highly competent in something that's in demand. This doesn't always mean going back to college for another degree. That's often expensive and slow. I'm talking about targeted skill development, learning to code, learning digital marketing, learning sales, learning data analysis. Whatever skills matter in your field, the return on this investment is enormous. Imagine spending $5,000 and 6 months learning a new skill, and that skill increases your income by $10,000 per year. That's a 200% return in the first year alone, and you earn that extra $10,000 every year for the rest of your career. Over 30 years, that's $300,000 from a $5,000 investment. A 60 times return no stock real estate deal or business will give you returns like that. Investing in your skills and earning ability is the highest return investment there is. When I was young, I took a public speaking course. It cost me $100, which felt like a lot at the time. That course is probably worth tens of millions to me now. It increased my earning power, opened doors, and built relationships. It was the best investment I ever made. So in your 20s and 30s, buy education and skills. Don't coast through your career. Don't do the bare minimum. Actively work to increase your value. Make yourself worth more to employers or clients. Build expertise people will pay premium prices for. Most people never think about this. They assume their career will naturally progress. They think simply showing up is enough. It's not. You have to deliberately invest in becoming more valuable. If you do, by your 40s and 50s, you'll be earning far more than your peers who didn't. And that higher income invested properly becomes wealth. That's the third smart purchase. Now, the fourth smart thing to buy in your 20s and 30s is different from the others. Buy time through efficiency, and don't buy time wasters. Time is your most valuable asset in your 20s and 30s. More valuable than money. You can always earn more money, but you can never create more time. And during these decades, you have the most time ahead of you, the greatest potential for compounding, but only if you use it well. So buy things that save time or increase efficiency. Buy things that let you focus on high-value activities like building your career, learning skills, investing, and building relationships. A reliable used car is smart. It gets you where you need to go and saves time. An expensive new car is foolish. It wastes money without saving you any additional time. Buying a computer or software that boosts productivity is smart. Buying the latest gaming console that consumes hours every night is not. Living in a modest apartment close to work to reduce commuting time is smart. Living in an expensive home far away with a 2-hour daily commute is not. That commute costs you 10 hours every week you could have invested in higher value activities. Every purchase should be judged not only by price, but by whether it saves time or wastes it. Most people buy time wasters. Video games, endless streaming, expensive nights out, things that consume time and create no value. Then they wonder why they aren't progressing or building wealth. It's because they're spending their most precious resource on things that give nothing back. In my 20s, I was ruthless with my time. I avoided activities that didn't contribute to learning or earning. I read constantly. I studied businesses. I built knowledge and skills. Every hour was invested, not wasted. That investment of time compounded just like money. The knowledge I gained then still supports the decisions I make today. So buy efficiency. Don't buy time wasters. Time in your 20s and 30s is worth more than money. And now the fifth and final smart thing to buy in your 20s and 30s. This may be the most important of all. Buy experiences that build relationships and memories, not things that impress strangers. This might sound contradictory. Haven't I been telling you to save, invest, and be frugal? Yes, but that doesn't mean never spending money. It means spending wisely. There are two ways to spend money. On things, cars, clothes, gadgets, bought to impress others, things that lose value immediately. Or on experiences with people you care about, travel with family, dinners with close friends, activities that create memories and strengthen relationships. The first kind of spending is wasteful, the second is valuable. And in your 20s and 30s, knowing the difference matters. After many decades of life, I've learned this. The happiest people aren't those with the most stuff. They're the ones with the strongest relationships and the best memories. So yes, save aggressively. Live below your means. Be frugal with most things, but don't be so cheap that you damage relationships or miss meaningful experiences. Spending $200 on a trip that creates lifelong memories is money well spent. Spending $200 on a designer shirt to impress strangers is money wasted. Most people get this backward. They buy expensive clothes, cars, and apartments to signal status to people who don't matter. But they don't invest in relationships. They don't create memories. And they reach middle age with lots of stuff and very little meaning. Don't make that mistake. Be frugal with possessions. Be generous with experiences that matter. I've never cared about impressing people with material things. But I've always been willing to spend money on time with people I care about and experiences that enrich life. That's the fifth smart buy. Now let's recap the 5 smart things to buy in your 20s and 30s. First, buy the habit of consistent investing and automate it. Second, buy index funds instead of individual stocks. 3 simple funds. Third, buy education and skills that increase your earning power. Fourth, buy time through efficiency, not time wasters. Fifth, buy experiences that build relationships and memories, not things that impress strangers. If you buy these 5 things, you will become wealthy. Not maybe. You will, because these are the foundations of wealth. Now let's talk about what not to buy. The things most people waste money on that keep them broke. Don't buy new cars. Buy reliable used cars and drive them for years. Don't buy expensive housing to impress people. Buy modest housing and invest the difference. Don't buy designer clothes or luxury brands. No one truly cares. Don't constantly redecorate or upgrade furniture. Buy functional items and keep them. Don't chase trends or new gadgets. Keep your phone and laptop longer. Don't pay for subscriptions you don't use. And most importantly, don't buy debt. Avoid credit cards, car loans, and unnecessary borrowing. Every dollar of interest is money that could have compounded. The real reason most people don't follow this path is delayed gratification. You'll look less successful in your 20s and 30s. Your peers will have nicer cars, bigger apartments, and flashier lifestyles. You'll feel behind. But you're not. You're building real wealth while they're buying appearances. This is exactly what I did. I lived modestly. Old car, cheap apartment, nothing fancy. People thought I was odd, but by my 40s and 50s, I was far ahead financially. That's the trade. Look less successful now to be truly successful later. 2 people can start in the same place with the same income. The difference is what they buy. Over decades, that difference becomes millions. That's why your 20s and 30s matter so much. The choices you make now determine your future, so choose wisely. Buy the 5 smart things. Avoid the rest. Accept delayed gratification. Build real wealth, not the illusion of